Chapter 1. The Age of Innocence. Summary. The incident when I was 9 years old changed my life. The sexual molestation by my Uncle Ed, the particularly important day when God revealed himself to me. My experiences, such as being a disobedient child, my burdens on family, and stress caused by bullies. My childhood innocence ended in my ninth year. It was 1990, and my parents had gone to a singing contest in Cebu, one of the islands among 7,107 islands in the Philippines, and one of the most developed provinces in the Philippines. In a decade, it has transformed into a global hub for business, processing services, tourism, shipping, furniture making, and heavy industry where I grew up. I was sleeping in the right corner of our home. We had no beds and we slept on mats on the floor with pillows and blankets. My aunt, who was a year older than me, laying on the next mat, and my brothers and cousin lay in another corner. It was hot, and we all slept in casual clothes with underwear. At some point, after I had fallen asleep with my body and face covered by a blanket, I suddenly heard someone speaking in a familiar voice, and I awakened to feel the strangest sensation in my body. Almost immediately, I realized that my uncle, who was in his late 20s, was touching me inappropriately while I was scared and virtually powerless to resist it. You should not tell anyone, Kim, otherwise something will happen, Uncle Ed whispered as he continuously touched me inappropriately. I was incredibly quiet, not so much in fright as in astonishment over what was happening to me. The book of Jeremiah 17, verse 9 in KJV, which says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?" And in the book of Matthew 18, verse 6 in KJV, which says, "Whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were drowned in the depth of the sea." Uncle Ed left the room within a few minutes, and after the experience I had with my Uncle Ed, I stood up immediately. Page 20. I walked the short distance to the singing contest to find my parents. I did not say anything and walked beside them. I was afraid that if I told them what Uncle Ed had done, they might try to kill him. "You do not really want to know what happened to me tonight," I told them silently. "I wish you had not left me to watch this contest. But what happened is over, and it was too late to fix it." I felt as though that it was the beginning of a certain misery within me. Even today, the incident with Uncle Ed flashes into my mind from time to time. Possibly worse, one day, when I was alone and ready to go to sleep, I touched myself, as Uncle Ed had done. In the book of First Corinthians 6, verses 18 to 20 in KJV, which says, "Flee sexual immorality. Every sin that a man does is outside the body, but he who commits sexual immorality sins against his own body. Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have from God, and you are not from your own? For you were bought a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's." One day, when we had a family outing at a beach resort, I heard Mom, screaming at me, "Kimberly, do not go that far. You almost died." How I have almost died, I wondered, because no one mentioned drowning. I feared going deeper into the water. Some years later, I asked, Mom, what happened when I almost died while swimming? Why, my, why might I have died? She replied, "We were all having fun at the time. You were 5 years old and we were swimming. You went out too far and could not get back to shore. In just a few seconds, you would have slipped under the water. It was a good thing that one of your uncles helped you and saved your life. I really do not want you to go swimming in deep water until you know how to swim better." From that time on, whenever I went swimming, I remember my mother's warning, and that kept me from having fun because of the overriding fear deep inside that I had of drowning. The book of 2 Timothy 1, verse 7 in KJV, which says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind."